Hey, I'm Andrew Ansley, the Director of Marketing for Helium SEO and the co-founder of Content Sprout AI, a tool designed for entity SEO, content creation, and keyword research. Today I'm just going to go over what is a topic map, and specifically this, I'm titling it the No BS Guide just because I don't want to confuse people. I know entity SEO, semantic SEO, topic maps, all that stuff is kind of confusing. So I'm trying to simplify this. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible so other people can just kind of, whether or not it's perfect, the goal is to make it better than where they are. So I'm just going to dive right in. We're specifically going to start with some definitions though. So I'm going to move this little outline out of the way. So first, what is a topic map? A topic map is a method of structuring concepts around a core entity to maximize topical coverage. So the intent of a topic map is to maximize site-wide relevance and resource crawlability, which results in better rankings, quicker rankings, while minimizing the need for backlinks. In short, a topic map, you can get more detailed than this, but for most people, this is what you need to understand. It's very structured, it's very interconnected, and a good topic map will also create a good flow and interconnectivity between all the topics. So next we need to define what an entity is. An entity is a uniquely identifiable object or thing characterized by its names, types, attributes, and relationship to other entities. An entity is only considered to exist when it exists in an entity catalog. So I show this every time, but if you just Google entity SEO, you'll see my guide right here. And you can read all about it. So up here, I go over the history of it, why are entities important, examples of them, and I just explain everything and do a deep dive with theory, give some definitions. If you want to know more about it, just Google entity SEO. Hopefully this helps. I'm going to exit out of this. You can read it on your own. Next, I have a whole chart here, but we're not going to go into it yet. We're going to dig into the actual meat and potatoes. So when you're trying to start from a topic map, I always find it easiest to find an existing topic map, right? Just what is out there that I can just learn from and reverse engineer. So we're doing project management, right, for this example, and specifically we're doing agile project management. So I'm going to use Ahrefs for this just because this makes it easy to find entity candidates. Now this is like needle in a haystack. You're not going to have the easiest time trying to find a good entity map or topic map, but this will help you out. So what we do is, first off, we can see this is a 64 keyword difficulty. All right, pretty hard. We'll see now what is ranking. So we have tech target, and if we look, we have a DR 91. Every one of the top 10 is 90, 90, 80, almost 90. 75, 90, 90. And in terms of backlinks, tons. For those that don't know, I'm only looking at domains. Unique domains is what I care about. There's other metrics too, but total number of backlinks, I don't care too much about. So domains, 134, 287, all of these have a high amount. Now, I'm not going to actually look at any of these guys for my entity map just because, nothing's sticking out. But you'll notice one that sticks out, 0. 0 domains with 29 DR and a 0 UR. Incredible. So this is Kanbanize, businessmap.io. So as you can see here, we have a good structure. We have everything. So instead of just table of contents, which is great, what I'm seeing is this is pretty much mapped out. This is what it looks like, what a topic map looks like in the wild. Once it's actually been expressed, once it's been created, this is the idea here. And I'll show you another one just because it's probably going to help. So let's do How about do this real quick and show you just what it looks like. This is not a perfect topic map. This is my tool, and we're going to do project management software. So we have task management, scheduling and planning, collaboration, communication, documentation, file sharing, project tracking and reporting, resource management, integration and customization, security and compliance, customer support, and pricing and packages. So this is not going to be the absolute best. This covers a lot of stuff. It doesn't mean you should write articles in every single one, but I wanted to show it just because it gives you a more an easier way to digest what a topic map looks like. You have these subcategories, you can have clusters, you're putting everything together. That's the whole idea. And then at the end of the tunnel, the yellow brick road, you have all your actual topics. So with that said, once it's out there, it will look like this. Now, here's the thing where if you've identified a website, and in this case we have, that has a topic map that looks really good, and their entity SEO game is on fire, then the next thing is let's look at the actual terms. So we already know, we've been validated that this site is killing it. Yes, they're on position 13, but, 13. But, I mean, it's incredible with 0 backlinks. And if you were to do this and do an overview, let's just look at the path, right? And then do organic search. So this path, oh, oops, I got to do it this way. We'll do Agile. So just for the Agile category, not bad. They've jumped up quite drastically. Now, if I do this, I'm going to have even more. Yeah, just incredible. So because I've looked at this site, I know that they started out here. So just to give full context, yeah, they redirected, right? So let's do 2 years? 5 years? Great. So they started a while back, and they've just been going, and going. And starting in the 7th of June, I mean, they just went up drastically from 227 to another 70K. That's such a short amount of time. So this is just awesome and perfect site to analyze. Now we're going to look at the terms here. What I'm seeing is principles, agile workflow, planning, implementation, metrics, structuring. We're looking for nouns, verbs, adjectives, subject, object, predicates, or triplets, I believe is what they're called. And then attributes, characteristics, perspectives, and search considerations. Those are the 8 things that I am looking for. So I want to make sure that my process, whatever process I'm coming up with, I need it to match. If I'm going to validate my own way of doing entity SEO research, then I need to make sure that I am actually checking my work. So here's how we do it. First, let's start with what we need to do. What we need to do is we're going to start with identifying search patterns. So to do that, I've actually already done this in here, but let's just copy, get rid of the click clear. So you enter your term in here, and this is just going to do all that nice, fun work where you're trying to understand search patterns, right? So if I do, you could do it in here too, right? So I could do, I'll get this going, Agile Project Management, and then we'll do maybe matching terms. That's the problem, like it's going to force the match, and a lot of these don't fully match. But so we want to do Agile Project Management, and we're going to look at a couple different things. We'll use SEO Stack, Ahrefs, and the SERP. I'm going to click Enter. We want A to Z, 0 to 9. No questions needed yet. I like to separate those out. Same with prepositions. Just Google. Then we hit Start. So next, I just go on through. So methodology, process, tools, definition, software. I'm just going to write all of this down. Training, approach, and Scrum. I'm showing you right here. Yep. I know this is kind of small, so let's see if I can maximize or increase screen size. So now we want best practices, books, benefits, basics, backlog, construction, and we just keep going down. Disadvantages, framework for beginners, fundamentals, template, all right, let's keep going. Guide, glossary, governance, Gantt chart, history, healthcare. So I am seeing things like industry. I'm seeing pros and cons. I'm seeing tools and software. I'm seeing people wanting to learn about it, the process, the methodology. Here are the industries right here, 2 of them. We have books, basics, and images and marketing, key terms, KPIs. You get the picture. Lean is on here. Metrics is on here. And, principles. Pros and cons is literally on there now. And then, retrospective. Cons. Cool. So, now we have techniques. Techniques, templates, types, verse waterfall, verse traditional project management. These are great, right? Management. And we have versus Scrum, versus PMP, I don't know what that is, versus Agile software development, versus Lean Six Sigma with Kanban, and I think that's it. So after that, we can clear it, get rid of those, and if we want some questions, we can do that too. I'm going to do this, open up this document over here, and Agile, entity, SEO, example, perfect. We're going to do search pattern. Next, we're going to do Agile projects management over here. And this is something interesting, by the way. Perspectives is now a thing. And I know that from the helpful content update that perspectives are becoming more important. If you really want to see why, then let's do this. If you haven't already heard, Reddit got a bit of a buff recently. Let's do, no. Exit, Site Explorer. Dude, Ahrefs, you are killing me. Killing me. Okay, Site Explorer. Cool, reddit.com. So Perspectives recently got a huge buff. This is insane. So much improvement. Okay, let's do, yeah, crazy improvement. Okay, so, wow. We went from the review update here and a core update here. This another helpful content update, another core update. What is these other updates? Not product reviews, core update. So we have, starting in March, we have an increased importance of experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. So experience is perspective. One of the ways you could look at perspective. Expertise, perspective. So from a certain perspective, this expertise, it depends how you want to look at this. You can cut my words up a million ways, and I could be wrong, I'm sure, in some. But this is massive. So we went from the beginning of June at 111 to 252 now. I just wanted to show that perspectives is important. So we're going to write that down. Perspectives, and then methodology, and then examples. For our context, we only want to grab the things that actually make sense, right? So if we are doing a site that doesn't do jobs, but it's a software, for project management, then we are not going to do any of those other things. So those are the three that are showing up, and we can do this as well. And now we can do Scrum. We already have waterfall, process, sprint, Kanban, agile development, life cycle, framework, prints, to, task, tools, visual, project manager. I mean, you can see how this goes. It's a ton. Software. And then keep scrolling over. Geez. Traditional, team, Jira, design thinking, construction, hybrid, Trello, steps, basics, traditional, if I haven't already done that, template, and now we've got it. So we're going to go over here. SERP, features, perfect. And we just want to compile all this information. Next up, we're going to look at a structured database and a semi-structured database. Real quick though, I do want to show you. You'll see that a lot of that's already here. So we have principles, metrics, retrospective, I know we talked about, benefits, yes, tools, yes, waterfall, yeah, methodologies, yes. Then we have different whole sections, right? Scaling it, the industries, so construction's in here. They're missing out on healthcare, but they do have pharma. Agile transformation, there's 3 of them. Digital, 3 as well. And if I scroll down to the bottom, everything connects, right? So in here, it's connected to the principles, the workflow, the planning, all of it's right here. It's just perfectly structured so that really everything flows so well together. Even the images, so look at this image here. It's simple enough, but what it's doing is it's just providing extra clarity on everything. And there's multiple data formats too for this article. So I'm in a separate video, I'll dig into how to create your actual brief, but just understand that everything has a very specific system set up. It's all structured in a way that makes maximum sense to Google. So we're going to hop back now, and I'll show you why I ended up in project management. So let's open up Wikipedia. So start at Wikipedia, and we're going to type in our exact term, Agile Project Management. So we have Agile Management, a book, and then software development. Let's do Agile Management. That is very weak. There's hardly anything in here. This is not super good. So we would probably go here and say, well, categories are Agile software development and project management. While Agile is still similar, unfortunately, the Agile is more of like a modifier on project management here. So project management is what we want. So we're going to click project management. Now, what we want to do is we want to find the structure. So we have history, project management types, approaches, blah, 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 blah. You just expand it out. expand it out, expands it out. So what I'm going to do now is I'll probably just do something like this. Benefits, we'll do this. And then we'll do, oops, over here. Copy, go over here, and paste it. Nice. We'll copy that and start putting that in here. Great. And next would be the last pieces of this. So it ends at, I'm not going to be too nitpicky here. I'm just going to grab and whatever happens, happens. So we'll copy that, put this in here. Well, you know, I'll do this. I hate having a ton of, having to scroll a ton. So we'll do this. Perfect. So that's the general layout. Wiki, outline, project, management. And just for ease of access, I'm going to do project management, grab, and do this, so I can get it later. Next up is, okay, so 86 pages are in this category. So now we're in a category view. We can actually look at a ton of stuff. We can write down the whole thing, right, of what are all the pages that exist. Scope creep, scope statements, smart criteria. These are all keywords. I mean, we could just capture this whole thing. So why not? For the sake of this video, I'm just going to do it the easy way. Then we have Wiki project management category. Boom. And we have that. Next up, I'm going to show you a really cool secret. What we want to do now is we want all of the blue links because those are entities that are associated. They're like nodes that are all connected. So we're going to open up ChatGPT and new chat. We're going to enable plugins, browser OP. If you have not enabled plugins, go to settings and beta at the bottom left. Go to beta controls. Go and hit this toggle, then you are good. That's all there is. So next we're going to say, I need all of the blue hyperlinks in this wiki article. Do not include numbers. And it should work. Otherwise, you're just going to have to write it down yourself, and it's not the end of the world. But we are now ready for the playground, ChatGPT. Here we go, project management team, project documentation, scope. Let's see now. We'll do this. Project management, triangle and software. There's so many. Do this. Yeah, so we're getting it. Team, product management. Yeah, good. So next we want to click the C also. And if it's a well-defined entity, then you'll actually have a huge shortcut here. So let me show you. We can go over to agile management, nice, decision making, earned value, there we go, outline of project management. So you're going to look for outline. I don't know if you've seen this guy, everybody, but look at this wonderful thing. So we have what type of thing is it, the branches of it, the management by domain, the types of projects, approaches, related fields, history of it, project processes, concepts. This is incredible. So we're just going to do this, grab it, and good to go. So let's actually hide this. Go back over here, and we're ready. Wiki project management outline. And then we'll do this. I'll just keep shrinking it because I don't really care too much. You would grab, oh, oops, I'm in multiple browsers over here. You grab the link, go back over here, and we're going to go and enter this in. Great. So we're getting there now. The next step, I believe this is the last one, is we want to go to the playground, and you're going to enter this prompt sequence, which is core entity, project management, entity context, agile is the specific type of project management. When the user types a number, you must output the prompt from the numbered list below, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 through 8, and I'm going to get rid of that. So temperature, the lower, the better for less variance, non-creative work, which we don't care about the creative stuff. We just want as accurate as possible. Typically, before AI, we had to run things like NLP algorithms, use Google Cloud for that. We had to use, what was it called, Glove, BERT. There's a whole sequence of things. So all we have to do is type the number, and then it enters it in. So I'll show you how to do it. I'm going to do this with, I'll go through it and then I'll show you. But 1, so we have the nouns. Here they are. Scrum, sprint, backlog, iteration. 2, we have the verbs. Prioritize, test, develop, communicate. Great. Adjectives, iterative, empirical, adaptive, responsive, prioritize, lean, fast-paced, efficient, productive. So predicates, we have implement, prioritize, facilitate, estimate, provide, adapt, value, emphasis, deliver, and promote. Search considerations are the number 1 is understanding the principles and values of Agile as outlined in the Agile Manifesto. So that's really interesting. You can Google Agile Manifesto and find out more about that, but what we see here is that the searcher considerations, it's principles first. So if you remember, how did this guy create this? Well, principles. Huzzah! So there we go. We're on the right track. And with workflow and planning, let's see if that's on here. Workflow. Sequences, flow. No workflow yet. What was the other one? Not workflow, but there was implementation. Yep, implements on there. You just do that, and what we're seeing is that, okay, great, this makes sense why those words were chosen. So adjectives, searcher, okay, here we go. Attributes. We have flexibility, iterative, incremental, collaboration, responsiveness, transparency, blah. Perspectives, we have team perspectives, Scrum Master, stakeholder, customer, organizational, industry, product owner. Then we have characteristics, which is really just another way of kind of asking for attributes. And then we can combine all the outputs. And we get this little thing here. Whew. Sorry, guys. I have a new baby. ChatGPT summary of information. Cool. So we have quite a bit now. I like to format it where it's verbs, adjectives, and I know exactly what is here. Searcher considerations, perspectives. Great. So now that we've got all of that stuff together, there's one more step, which is go and search for project. We'll do this. Google Scholar. And then we want to do project management. And we can do a bunch of stuff. So introduction to project management. Okie dokie. We have a good little structure. So we have executing, monitoring, closing them, best practices, planning the projects, initiating them, portfolio selection, and we can see how they cover all of these things, the learning objectives. It's really helpful to open this up and to use these sorts of things. So what is a project? Great, so they're starting very high up. Now, if I don't want to do this, because I want to get more specific, there we go. Then I can do this, Agile Project Management. And now, I don't think he has an outline, but you get more of an idea once again. So use books. I'm not going to go through the rest of the secret sauce, but you get the picture now. You have all of the data, and now it's just up to you to construct something that is very well connected. Now, this obviously is just, all we did was this. We still need to scaling agile or agile retrospective. I mean, let's see, retrospective. Nothing in there. So retrospective. This entire process needs to be replicated or duplicated over and over and over. So we just did that for the overarching category, but all of these could be expanded because we still need to create the briefs for all of these, and we need to understand how they interlink together. Look at that, Agile Manifesto. We know exactly what that is, that is a thing. The next thing is just to talk about the actual organization of this. So the benefit of doing this, I'll show you how to build this, and it'll take 30 seconds to show you. But it's not just, no one really does this. This was created by developers, I believe. I believe GitHub was one of the first ones to do this. Anyway, it's just how a searcher wants to experience something. I don't want to go to Google when I'm right here. I can just get my answers. I have everything I want. The only thing this is missing is a floating table of contents to jump me around. But other than that, this is great. I don't know why he doesn't have a table of contents, but for whatever reason, there is not. Learn more about the principles. Okay, there's a separate article for principles. Great. So that's what this is. We have this entire structure. All of them can be clicked. Scaling Agile has its own hub. This has a hub. Industries has a hub. Transformation, I believe, has a hub. Yep. And digital transformation has a hub. I don't know why digital transformation is on there, but I'm assuming it makes sense. Okay, maybe having a PDF link here. Typically, I don't like to have links that go external, but now you understand. I'm going to show you how to build this now. Well, just the website to use. This is one way to do it. This website, I don't believe, used this, but I'm just showing you real quick in case you guys want to do this. So if I went to Hasura, here we go. So as you can see, everything is neatly organized. And the benefit of using Docusaurus, first off, it can be built onto any category. So it can build on top of WordPress, whatever you want, but it is in React. And if you know programming or development, you know that React is a language that Facebook invented that is super, super fast, super agile. And the guy who did Docusaurus made this free, and it is open source. Yeah, give it a star on GitHub. And it's really helpful because it is React built with static hosted files, so it's very, very fast. Let me show you. Databases. Load immediately. I'm just clicking and then it just loads. So this is incredible. It's just such a good user experience. And they have the floating thing on this side too. Highly recommend having this. If you want the search bar, that's Algolia. So this tool mixes with Algolia. I'm going to exit out of this now, and let's go back to Excalidraw. Well, we have two more things. I did not show you this tool. So this is a structured database. Wikipedia is semi-structured. Semi-structured because this is a large body of text. Structured because it's clear statements. This is an instance of this thing, subclass of this thing, has this characteristic. So that is, I like to look at this just so I can make sure that I have a good understanding of everything. I'm going to exit out of that now. Exit out of this and my little Wikipedia. Let's just pretend I grabbed all of those blue links already. I'd put those inside of my little document. And next, what you're going to see is you should probably look at the internal linking, right? So every page, you should just, as you're going into it, you try to figure out what's linking to what. How's the strategy done? And let's go to principles. Actually, no, let's go to the main one. So when you're doing internal linking, I want to show you. We don't want to link anywhere here yet. Usually you want to go about halfway through the article. Okay, great. So this is the main part of the article. What is it? Here's the brief history of it. What are the 5 pillars of it? Really, once this is answered, then the rest of it's kind of just done. So let's do the not structured data, headings. Great. So brief history, pillars, H3. Okay, so this ends at, oh, this is, I don't think they should do this as an H3, but whatever they want. What are the most popular agile? So, okay, this looks to be the end of the main section of their content. You can usually tell based off of the end of the H2s. So this is an H2. It is the final one meant to create that segue into the supplemental content. Supplemental being not the primary focus, but it's generally highly related and backed by search volume of some kind. So why do you need it? What are the phases? The differences between Agile and Waterfall, we saw that was part of the search. What are some common challenges? Great, that's a very common one. How can they be addressed? How does it handle project risk and change during the project lifecycle? I swear that sounds just like everything. Yeah, life cycle, waterfall, process. What are some other ones? Techniques. As you can see, it's just like chock full of these terms. Nouns. Agile team member, chart. Yeah, so I'm not going to get too deep into this. I would just go back and forth. So what I wanted to show you, though, to end this video is a little taste of just how to create these articles. It's one, you have a main section and a secondary section. Main section, like I said, it ends right above here. Then we have this stuff here. I don't know what this is. This is probably just bad stuff. H4s. Oh, no, it's actually not bad at all. Potentially. So these are all counted as H4s. Interesting. I might recommend doing that. I don't really know. But it's cool to understand. Now, I want to show you something. We have continuous improvement. So do we want this article to rank for continuous improvement? Well, nope. I know automatically. Nope. This is the one to probably rank for continuous improvement. For whatever reason, continuous improvement, if you look at the bottom, it says lean management. So this is part of their other hub or topic map, part of their topic map. Lean management improvement, what is it? Great. Let's keep scrolling down, show you some of the other things. So what are some popular project management methods? Do we want this to rank for that specifically, or do we want something else to rank for that? Well, we have this right here, which is methodologies. So we're using when you use the anchor text to specify this high up in the first paragraph, this is specifically done to, it's called a contextual bridge. You're bridging between a different context. Keep in mind your whole website is an interconnected book for Google, and the crawler sees that link, and when it sees this going down, and then it hops into that hyperlink, does it make sense? Is that link, does that add to the contextual understanding? Is there any break at all and between the subjects? So once again, now we have Kanban principles and practices. This is the way to go about this. Dedicated Scrum, so there's a whole entire section on Scrum. Organizational agility. Related articles, great. So this is awesome. I'm going to show this thing here, which is, there is a, let's do this here, and I'll show you at the very top. We have a patent from Google that Bill Slawski wrote about this. Corey Tugbert has talked about this as well. But this might be one of the most important on-page optimization documents out there. It's called Scoring Candidate Answer Passages. It's all about how do we get answers. We being Google, answers being the search results. So I'm going to show you. We have candidate answer passage measurement. So we have term match scores, passage unit position scores, language model scores, section boundary scores, interrogative scores, discourse context, resource scores, term frequency, multiply term weight by frequency, entity attribute detection. So it functions like this. 1. Receive a query determined to be a question query that seeks an answer response and data identifying resources determined to be responsive to that query. This isn't groundbreaking. Receive candidate answer passages generated from resources, being your website, your page. Determine each candidate answer passage, a query term match score. So query term match score is really just using a connection of, hey, how similar is this content or passage in this blog to the query itself. Determine for each candidate answer passage an answer term match score. We'll get into that. Determine for each candidate answer passage a query dependent score. So it's looking specifically based on that query. Based on the query term match score and the answer term match score, both together. Then we have determine for each candidate answer passage, it's grabbing multiple, a query independent score. So now it's this patent gets into it, but I'm going to butcher it. The idea here is there are two different scores, query dependent and query independent. They are added together, and that is how you achieve success with ranking. Is if you can maximize all this stuff, this is how you get 0 backlinks and still are up there with the biggest. So let's keep going. Obviously, backlinks are important. I'm not arguing with that because they're not getting into the page 1. But I gotta imagine get 10 backlinks, high quality, boom, you're going to be on page 1, and you didn't have to buy 500 backlinks, which for $100 to $200 a pop, that's a lot of money. Okay, so now we have each candidate answer passage, determine an answer score based on query dependent score and query independent. Then we have resource and resource data. We determine the passage unit score, the language model score, which is probably BERT. Determine section boundary score, determine interrogative score. Section boundary is the literal paragraph. So this is a section boundary. What are the benefits of agile working? This is the boundary. This with a colon or semicolon, whatever that is. Then with a bulleted list. This is a structured, there's multiple kinds of, when we're talking about section boundaries, there's a structured section boundary, which is this, and unstructured. Unstructured looks like, it's a good one. Here. That is a just paragraph. So you'll notice this is 1, 2 lines, and it's because this is the answer specifically crafted to section boundary in mind. So that's what a section boundary is. Watch out how you have your section boundaries. If you add a, enter in here, section line break or anything, that's going to change things, lower your score. If you can maximize all of the scores together, then when they're multiplied and added together and all that stuff, then that's when you really get some good bonus points. So discourse context term positions, so that's looking at the context around the answer passages. Interrogative score is, was this formatted as a question, an interrogative question? So interrogative means there's a question mark here. So to interrogate, it's part of the same Latin root, inter, between. So what are the 5 pillars of Agile, or across, something like that? I can't remember which one it was. What are the 5 pillars? I want to show here just how many for the interrogative. We have why do, what are, how does, what is, what are the Agile 4 values. Instead of just saying Agile 4 values, we're trying to maximize everything, and this is the interrogative score. Discourse context, okay. Resource score for resource from which the candidate answer passage was created. So now this one is specifically looking at how you've structured your headings and everything. So it's connected to another one, but this is getting into the realm of, okay, based on where it is in that article or in that resource, and looking at the entire page, and looking at how it's connected to other pages, you're getting these scores. Now, they generate a list of terms from terms included in the top-ranked subset of resources for each term in the list. They generate a weight for the term, basically like a entity weight, if you will. If you've ever seen NLP, then you're familiar. For each term of the candidate answer passage, determine the number of times the term occurs. So term frequency. If it's project management, did I mention project management twice? Then for each term of the candidate answer passage, multiply its term weight by the number of times the term occurs in the answer passages. And last, determine the answer term score based on the multiplied term weights. And that's how you get the passage. So all of this is super interesting. If you want to learn more, go to and find the scoring candidate answer passages. They have tons of images and walkthroughs, basically, of how this thing here works. And it's very, very helpful. So between this and entity-oriented search, yeah, by Christian Balog, that gets you a long way. Because entity attributes are also part of this thing here. But we have it. We have so much stuff. If you want the ChatGPT, if you want me to share the ChatGPT thing, just comment in the video and just say something like, yo, idiot, send me the ChatGPT thing. Happy to do it. And hopefully this was helpful. We can go over more of the stuff on how to create the actual briefs. Last bit of credit is to Corey for creating an excellent course that really helped crystallize this for me. If you guys haven't seen Corey's stuff, he's just an incredible resource for this stuff, prolific writer with this, has so many case studies, and I believe this is one of his old projects. It's got to be. I don't have notes on everything, but I believe this is a Corey project. And yeah, hopefully this was helpful, guys. Any questions, ask. Happy to help. That's it for this one. Talk to you later. If you have suggestions on what I make next, just let me know.